Welcome to Superfuse, the only co-op video I'm going to do about this game, and I'm going to warn everyone, do not buy this game if you plan to play co-op, because it's not a co-op game. This is a single player game that has co-op functionality, or compatibility, whatever way you want to look at it. We started this game, me, Pete and Lewis, we jumped in, we planned to play quite a lot of it because the game did look decent. But spawning in, there's no way to invite your friends in or anything like that. They've got a very complicated co-op system. You have to go into server browser. And through the server list, Pete and Lewis were unable to find my game, so they had to join through private game, and they just had to type in the game name and the password or whatever. But we got into the game, and we very quickly realised that it's a single-player game just with the added extra of co-op, because there is no mission progress that's co-op based. You are progressing through the missions on your own. So there was one to collect 10 corrupted organs that fall off enemies, like when you kill them, they drop them, and you have to pick them up one by one. So instead of having to get 10, we had to find 30. But once one player is done with that objective, the others can have their progression sort of delayed if you accidentally pick one up. And not only that, the keybinds, I'm not sure if you can change them, but they suck for this game, because your movement is done with your left mouse button, but that's also a button for your skill. So they've tied the button for movement and one of your skills. There's weapons and stuff, and there's no clear instructions on how to use them. Also, when you die, this game is nothing but a pain with it, because you have the option to respawn at a checkpoint, which barely ever works. There are waypoints you collect as you're progressing through the maps, and they don't actually count as a checkpoint for some reason, because I unlocked one quite close to the start of an area, and I was able to respawn at the checkpoint when I died, but it spawned me at the beginning of that area instead of at the waypoint. So you pretty much have to respawn back in the town, and then you have to make your way back to where your teammates are. So it's very, very frustrating. The progression is still single player based, and not only that, when it comes to the loot, it's set up for free for all, and even though there's a drop down menu, there's no other option. So you can't have it so that there's like only pickups available for certain classes and stuff. You like, if you get something drop and it's for like the Berserker, then you have to let the Berserker pick it up. You can drop gear, but it's just a very frustrating system. It doesn't work how it should for a co-op game. You should all have your separate loot. You shouldn't just have free-for-all as an option, regardless of if the game's in early access or not. Then when it comes to the skills as well, I picked up a maul weapon and I unlocked the middle talent tree or whatever, and I was unable to use that skill because I didn't have a compatible weapon. Yet it's the starting skill you unlock for that skill class, if you want to call it that. And overall, I do think it's a decent game, but only played in single player. I don't think this is a co-op game in any way, shape or form. There's just too much stuff that's frustrating. Like, the co-op progression should be a thing. You should be able to progress through these quests together as a team, because not only that, when you're exploring the map and you're unlocking certain parts, it doesn't unlock for your team, so you all have to individually go everywhere on the map. You can't split up and do things like that. And it's a 4-player co-op game, but there are only 3 character classes at the launch of early access, and this game's going to set you back £21, so it's like a $25 game. But there's just so many missing features that co-op should have, and I'm not bothered about an early access title. These are fundamentals, core features that should be in the game at launch. So there's a lack of map exploration for co-op. There's a lack of having your own separate loot for co-op. We were making progress through the game, and when you die, it's very, very frustrating. It drops a load of random gear, and your teammates can pick it all up. But when you respawn, you still have that gear in your inventory. You don't actually lose anything. So I think essentially, if that is the case over multiple deaths, you could basically just farm free gear from dying over and over again. And it's just not too fun in co-op. I was playing as the Berserker. It's supposed to be a tank class, and at the start of the game I'm dealing way more damage than my teammates, who are a Technomancer and I think an Elementalist. It's just not a very well put together co-op experience, and for that reason I'm going to say, do not buy this game if you plan to play in co-op. Single player, different story. I haven't refunded it. Pete and Lewis have refunded. I'm not going to refund it. I'm going to try it in single player and see if I can get on with it. But for the co-op experience, it's a definite no-go for Superfuse. I'm incredibly disappointed. I was really really looking forward to playing this in co-op, but we will no longer be playing. We played about an hour, and it's just a frustrating experience. It's tough to actually find your teammates if you die, because the way they've set up these systems just makes no sense. And what we're going to do is leave the video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about this in the comments, and check out this video if you want to see other content on the channel. I will see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.